Contacts is the iPhone's app that stores names, phone numbers, email addresses, and lots more. It's an old app in the sense that it was on the first iPhone that was produced, and it's one that people sometimes overlook. In this video I'm going to show you how to use it, how to back it up so you don't lose all of that information, and how it can be extremely powerful when you link it with other apps. Well, we've probably all recorded somewhere the names of our friends, family, people who supply us services. We've recorded the information that we need to contact them. A couple of things have changed. Firstly, people's details change a lot. Second, nowadays it's common for people to have multiple contact numbers, emails, mobiles, home phones, and more. One way that you can keep up with this is by using the iCloud part of your iPhone purchase. An iPhone can contain up to 50,000 different names, and that's probably enough for almost all of us. So as information becomes harder to find publicly and more complex, a real problem has emerged, because if your information, your contacts, were to be lost when your iPhone perhaps was stolen or was destroyed, you would be in a real difficulty, because that information is so hard to get and so important. Now, Apple have provided a way to back up all that contact information if you wish to use it, and it's based on your Apple ID. Now, an Apple ID normally consists of an email and a password. You must know this information, because without it you will only be able to use only the very most simple processes. If you do know your Apple ID, I think you can easily continue this video. But if you don't know your Apple ID, I think you should pause, talk to the people or person who helped you set up your iPhone in the first place, or contact Apple support, get your Apple ID correct, and then continue. So let's have a look now at our iPhone with the iCloud settings switched on, and see how we can use that to ensure that our contacts are recorded, backed up in the cloud, and available to our other Apple devices. So let's have a look at the iCloud settings to make sure that contacts are being backed up. We go to settings and look at that top section, the Apple ID. It opens and we can see quite a lot of information there that are set to the ID. But this is the one we're looking for, the iCloud. We open that up. There's a wealth of information in here about how we are using the iCloud. The storage at the top tells you how much storage has been purchased for this device. You can see a lot has been purchased with this. This is 2 terabytes, and there's nothing like that amount being stored. Then you look at the other applications that are using it. Look first at photographs, and you can see the chevron is switched on. That means every photograph is being backed up to the cloud. You can move down, the iCloud is the same. The keychain is switched off. That is because on this phone a different password manager is being used. And so we come down till eventually we get to the iCloud drive is on, and the one we want to see is the contacts is switched on. That means every contact that you key in on this device will be backed up into the cloud, and if you want it to be, can appear on all your other Apple devices. So let's just check a couple of preferences in the contact app itself, and then we're almost ready to start keying in addresses. We move our way down to the contacts. There's the app, there's its chevron. Let's open it. Let's have a look at some of these settings. Siri is something you can set, and it is very handy, but we might leave that for the moment. The accounts simply refer to the email accounts that you've got running in the iPhone. Sort and display are issues about how you're going to put the names in what order. I know people by their first names, and that's how I sort it, and that's how I display it. The information is, of course, to make sure it's about me, and finally the default account. And if you notice, mine is set to iCloud. If yours is not set to iCloud, you should reset it so it's like that. So now we're in a position where we're ready to begin to use the Contacts app. Let's open it, and the first thing I want you to look at, what is at the top. That is My Card. Look carefully at My Card and make sure that your details are there. You can see my face and my details are there. If you want to add a contact, you come to the plus sign, and from here I think the process of entering people's information is pretty straightforward. If you have a photograph of someone, or you have their brand icon, put it in there, and then you make your way through the name and identity of the person. First name, last name, adding phone numbers, adding addresses, birthdays, important dates, and so on. There is a huge amount of information that can be placed into contacts by you. For instance, you can see there that when I pressed this number, I can record that as a mobile phone, but I might make a different choice and call it a home phone, work, school, iPhone, Apple Watch, and so on. Try to make sure that all of the information that you place into your contacts is as accurate as you can. That completes my video about Apple Contacts. All the information that you've put into Apple Contacts is now available on all your native Apple apps. Later on, I'll make a video about how you can use the information in contacts to transform applications like Apple Maps and messaging into highly powerful devices for your personal use.